So we'll figure that out. See what's going on with that. You can bring no coffee or no tea. What's in the cup?
Water.
You fuck with caffeine at all while you're pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I asked
you
that
have
last
to.
time.
You have to.
What kind of cravings you get? What's like the main thing you crave when you're pregnant?
Eggs.
Eggs. That's some raunchy shit to crave. That's some raunchy shit.
Eggs and hot sauce. That's why I just have that every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Man, I know Bryson hurting.
Why?
Eggs and a hot sauce? That just sounds like bubble guts. Man. That's some you couldn't crave no fruit, no strawberries or nothing. Good Lord. Okay, we're getting into it. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Brew podcast, everyone. I know it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
You know,
couple minutes.
Life's been at us.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
Life's been lifing.
Life's been lifing. You know, things come up. This is just one of the things that we got to make more time for. And I mean, with Sarita pregnant now, eventually. I'm not saying right now that's been the reason why, but I mean, with Sarita being pregnant, eventually there's going to come a point where she's not going to be able to do these consistently once she has the baby and everything, right? You're going to be recovering.
I mean,
yeah,
it'll be okay.
But yeah, once she has the baby and everything, that'll be a little drop off, obviously. But you know, we do need to do these more consistently. It's just things have just been lining up perfectly to keep us from doing these podcasts. But
originally, I thought Fridays were like the ideal day to do a podcast. Mm-hmm. The end of the week. Yeah. But then stuff just came up. Like last weekend, shout out to my little brother. He got married last weekend.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. You were the officiant for it?
I was. It was so special. I was very sober, but I had the best time.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we had to be sober.
You remember my sister's wedding? It was like a repeat.
Oh yeah. Damn, you were pregnant for that one too?
No. Okay. You don't. Okay. No, you don't remember.
Well, it's hard to tell because your ass stays pregnant. I feel like
I've been pregnant consistently for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I can't tell at this point. All right, so we go ahead and get into it. I seen that you posted something about homecoming.
Oh yeah.
What's going on with that? Because I seen you post something about saying that your son's homecoming date was going to be disappointed or some shit.
Yeah. So to clarify, he's going to be a freshman next year.
Uh-huh.
So I'm looking at all these like HOCO, what do you call it? Not proposals, but HOCO invites. Yeah, whatever. And I'm like, these are like elaborate.
Yeah.
Like TikTok, Pinterest, somebody's mom is a creative genius. Like this is a lot of effort. I just feel like next year my son's date is going to be real disappointing because that ain't him and that ain't me.
You talking about just like regular like envelope invitations or
no, what? Like these big signs and they're all set up to be recorded to like invite the girl or they're going to their house. They're on their porch. I mean, it's a lot.
That's crazy though. Cause with kids, you know, kids don't really give a I feel like
that's how I feel
at that age. And I don't mean like don't give a fuck, like they don't care how it's done. Like at that age, kids don't give a fuck about hurting people's feelings. Like they have no sympathy. I seen quite a bit of videos where like guys had the big signs, like they went all out to ask the girl to homecoming and then she just roasted him in front of everybody.
Yeah, that would be
because it's like at that age, kids don't. When you get older, I feel like you have more empathy for people and you take people's feelings into consideration more. At that age, I feel like kids are ruthless, bro. Like
they're pretty self-centered.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just one of those things. Like,
but then I saw like moms were on there like and moms with girls, you know, just like he better step up. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I think he's just going to be like, forget about it. I'll just go by myself.
Yeah. I went to homecoming by myself. I never took a date to homecoming.
I'm going to say I didn't, but if I did, I don't remember, but I just remember going as like a group of friends for homecoming.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Prom was more formal and you had a date and all that. But I feel like I do remember just going as friends to homecoming with my girls and we'd meet up with people when we got there.
Yeah. Well, and I was in there slaughtered too. I was slaughtered. Homecoming?
As a freshman? Like
it was a freshman or sophomore, whatever homecoming that is. Yeah. Me and a group of friends, we just got drunk and went to homecoming. We didn't go with dates or nothing. we weren't in homecoming drinking, but
right,
we got drunk before we went.
No, I didn't. No,
we was trashed.
No,
but that's the thing. I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want to put none of them on blast because they was actually some cool ass teachers, but there was a couple teachers in there and they was fucked up too. They was fucked up too.
Oh my God.
Because you know how it is with city schools, like that the twerking that goes on in city schools is like borderline pornography on that dance. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is
I don't think I would ever volunteer to chaperone a dance because one, I don't ever want to see my kids like behaving like that.
Yeah.
I'm not delusional.
Right.
Like I know what goes on, but I don't want to see that.
Right.
And then like the fighting, the drama, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Like we didn't do no like drugs or nothing like that. We just drank and then we just, I mean, kids are so fucking stupid. We were so fucking stupid. It's like we walked into homecoming where, you know, they don't have any lights on except the party lights when they're playing the music. And we walk in there with sunglasses on. It's like, we walked in with sunglasses on, like dumb shit. I look back at it now, like you just giving yourself away. Yeah.
I feel like adults were a lot smarter than we gave them credit for.
Yeah. But so football season started though.
Yes.
I heard Grant destroyed Pleasant.
Yes.
What was the score of that game? It was like
42-6, maybe, or 44-6.
That was Dez's team?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Dogged.
We only won by 2 last night, though. So.
Against?
Shelby. Which Shelby's been a pretty, like, they've been like a pretty big game for us. I know I think they beat us once last year and then we beat them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we came out at home last night and we should have won by more. Like we had just defensively, we need to clean some things up and then we had some offensive mistakes.
They need to let me do like a hype video for the football team, man. I've been wanting to do a hype video for a football team for a long time.
Let you?
Huh?
They'll let you.
Well, the biggest issue that I've had with it is kids haven't been able to get access to their equipment for the video.
I could probably help work that out for you.
Yeah, do that because I'm going and doing a hype video for Pleasant's volleyball team on the 22nd.
On the 22nd?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to beat them to it.
Like they're literally the first school that's reached out to me to do a hype video for a sports team, and I've been wanting to do that for a while.
It's not surprising to me. Now you got Pleasant ties over there.
I never went to Pleasant.
No, but
hell no. I mean, I'm not gonna see you put me in a predicament. They about to cancel.
Yep, he's out.
But like I said, I would love to do. The kids would
love. I mean, the kids eat that stuff up, and
yeah.
Anymore, like social media is so important for kids that, I mean, just I don't know. I feel like it's important to the kids. It's fun for the kids. It makes kids who should be out there want to be out there. It makes kids who are out there want to be out there. It's a great thing for everybody. I love an opportunity to make the kids feel cool and special.
Well, yeah, like football is my favorite sport, and I went to Harding, so I want to do a hype video for the fucking football team there.
Yeah,
so
we can work that out for you.
Yeah, that would be fire. Cause I'm bringing fog machines and all kinds of shit.
You're talking about for the high school.
No, I mean I'll do it for Grant too. I just want to do it for one of the football teams. I mean I can do it when Des gets in high school too, but I'm just saying I've been wanting to do it for a while, but there's always been issues with like getting access to the field or the kids not being able to get their equipment for the video or something like that. And it's like,
yeah,
if I want to do it, like I want to do it
right.
Yeah, I want to go all out with it.
Putting Trey Films on some BS.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so unwelcome visitors. I heard you say somebody pulled into your driveway the other day and started taking pictures of your house.
Wild. Yes.
Did you figure out what that was?
I mean, she never came back, so I really didn't get around to anything. Yeah, I was sitting there getting Frankie ready for preschool, and I just noticed a car pull into my driveway, and I do a lot of like Instacart, DoorDash, whatever.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was like, shoot, did I forget I ordered groceries this morning? And somebody, because, I ain't about to cuss out the grocery delivery person. And
fuck you deliver my groceries for.
Because you asked me to.
And you didn't too.
No, I always say.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I thought it was somebody maybe pulling in to turn around. Because that happens a lot too. Wasn't going to say anything. But she pulls in and she just kind of stops and sits in her car. And my mom was calling me at the same time. And it was maybe a day or two before my brother's wedding last week. So I thought maybe it's my mom's friend, like dropping something off for the wedding, and didn't my parents live in Richwood, didn't want to drive out to Richwood or whatever. So I'm like, hey, Mom, did you send somebody to the house? And she was like, no. And I was like, nope. So nobody's coming here for you. And she was like, no. So I'm like, okay. And she's like, why? And I'm like, well, somebody's here standing in my front yard taking pictures. And
could it be something related to real estate? Like,
well, she was like, I mean, they typically only do that if you don't pay your mortgage. Right. And she's like, the mortgage is paid. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going out here to like see what this is about. So I opened the door and I didn't go outside. I'm in my pajamas, like my kids here.
Rough.
It was rough.
Just ate a dozen eggs with hot sauce.
It was bad.
Don't randomly go to Sarita's house.
No, no, it smells fine.
No.
So I'm like, can I help you? And she was like, oh no, I'm just taking a picture. And I was like, taking a picture? And she was like, oh yeah, my friend used to live here like 50 years ago. She moved somewhere, I can't remember where she said, and we were on the phone last night and she was just wondering if the house was still here. So I told her I'd take a picture of it. And I said, and I'm still pretty calm at this point. I was like, so you think it's appropriate to pull in somebody's driveway you don't know and take a picture, stand in somebody's yard and take a picture of their house? And she was like, well, I can take a picture across. I can take a pic. You can't stop me from taking a picture. I can go across the street and take a picture.
Well, that's what we want you to do. Is take it from the fucking street.
It went left.
Once you pull in my driveway, that's the issue that we're having. If you want to take it from the street, there ain't nothing you can do.
There's nothing I can do about that.
I mean, you can do a fucking Google Street View. So it's like Google Earth the shit, first of all. But if you want to take it from the street, whatever. The problem is you pulled into the fucking driveway.
You pulled into the driveway and you're standing in my front yard with your phone. Like I'm looking at her and she's got one of those cases that the phone is inside. Yeah. So she's like fumbling with it and she's doing this.
Why them old motherfuckers always got the unfoldable?
They always have the little folder for their phone. The portable folder with the magnetic strap.
Every time I'm at a wedding, there's always some 70, 80-year-old lady, and she always got the foldable case on her phone. It's
about to drop the phone.
Yeah, all kinds of shit. Still don't know how to work the camera or nothing.
It took her a while.
It's all out of focus. But that's the shit that pisses me off the most. When people do something that they know they ain't supposed to do, and then they still want to try to argue with you about it.
She had so much audacity, like getting upset with me for questioning why she was in my front yard, in my driveway, taking a picture. And she knew we were home because she had to pull in behind our car. Yeah. Or maybe she didn't know we were home, but I would assume if there's a car in the driveway, there's probably somebody inside. Right. Yeah, she was pissed that I was like, you need to get in your car, get it out my driveway, and leave. Yeah, because it was not good.
People got to realize, like, you're a random person pulling in my driveway. If my kids were out front playing in the front yard
and you're taking it's just weird.
Yeah, that's just weird. And I mean, it was a woman, but that would have been intensified times 10 if it was a man.
Some random dude. Yeah.
Because the first thing you're thinking is like, okay, they're plotting on how they're about to rob the place.
I mean, there's all kinds of like sex, human trafficking, and all sorts of weird stuff. I mean, people are just weird.
And with a lot of that shit, like women are working with them to do it. Yeah. Because women are they don't expect women to do it. So they're the easiest way to get in and get what they need.
And I just assume everybody's a creep.
Yeah. I mean, that's some creepy shit.
Yeah, it was not a good, and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I got all this on my ring. Yeah. Like this, I'm just gonna, ring camera was dead.
Damn. How is the ring camera dead? Don't they hook up to the electrical or something?
Well, mine isn't a hardwired one. So I didn't realize, or maybe it sent me a note. They sent you notifications, but I probably just ignored it. So I didn't have it, but I did, Taken is like one of my favorite movies. Yeah. So I was joking about it with my sister when she called me, and I was like, I have a special set of skills. Like, I'm going to find her. And I did.
You found her?
Yeah.
Oh, your ass was looking for her. You started trouble. No, I mean, just to know who she is, though. Just in case.
Because like as she was popping off, as she was driving off, and she was like, you have a good day, neighbor. And I was like,
I'm glad you said neighbor.
Glad you said neighbor. Now I'm going around looking for you.
I'm glad you picked the right N-word.
Right.
This shit could have got out of control real quick.
Right.
But, they Because it's like if you're going to pull into somebody's driveway and take a picture and they come out yelling at you, you got it coming. So just be ready to be like, you're right. I'm sorry. Just wanted to show a friend.
Right.
When you start arguing with a motherfucker, it's like, you're wrong.
And
like, just accept.
Like you said earlier, like you don't know people.
Right.
I could have just said, you know what? You're right. Go ahead and take all the pictures you need. Walked in my house, got something from the safe, and just came out and just aired everything out. I mean, I'm not
aired everything.
I'm not that person, but you don't know people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, and like you're actually doing her a favor because do that to the wrong house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there are some crazy motherfuckers that come out with a shotgun and they ain't, they ain't gonna ask no questions.
No. I was trying to I don't know what I thought, but I was just trying to give her I thought she had a really good reason.
Yeah.
Because I would have to have a really, really good reason to go do that to somebody.
Well, see, like I can kind of understand it because like I drive by my grandparents' house, their old house a lot, and I look, and they're both passed away now. So it's got like, I have some all those
sentimental
memories.
Value, yeah.
So every time I pass by, I just look at it, you know, just think about the old times and shit like that. But and that's fine. But once you pull into somebody's driveway who currently lives in the house and you start taking pictures, which I've never done.
Right. It's like
you
weird.
got what you got coming at that point. Like,
I mean, she's lucky she just got an earful.
Yeah. I just don't. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody does something wrong and they know what they're doing is wrong, but they still want to try to make an argument about it.
That's what really pissed me off because I was like, I was willing to just send you on your way, but now I feel like we gotta carry on with this conversation.
Yeah. So, Facebook page with people's leaked nudes. Did you hear about that shit?
Yeah, I saw it.
I didn't see it. All I seen was like the hundreds. All I seen was the hundreds of statuses that said that there was a page that somebody was posting. Everybody was there. Leaked nudes on.
It was there.
So go ahead and tell me.
What?
No, I mean, no. We ain't gonna get personal. But I mean, go ahead and tell me like, how the fuck did that even happen? Because you would have to have like numerous people collaborating.
Oh yeah, there was. The most disturbing part about it, obviously, there were girls' nudes on there, and maybe some of them, probably many of them, were not put on there by the girl.
Yeah,
that took them.
Right.
So that's obviously disturbing.
Well, what I was saying was like it was a bunch of girls' exes that still had shit from when they were dating.
Well, they were all anonymous users.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see who was. You couldn't prove who was doing the upload unless you know dang well you only sent that picture to one person.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you don't know who posted that, then that means you sent that same shit to multiple people and you can't narrow down who it was.
Or that person sent it to multiple people and now you really don't. I mean, which is probably the case.
Yeah.
But the more disturbing part about that website was that there were people on there begging for certain girls' nudes. Like, does anybody have so-and-so? Hey, see if anybody has so-and-so. And it was like girls that I knew.
Sick shit.
And I was like,
that was sick shit.
What? Yeah, it was absolutely horrifying. Some of them.
I didn't see the actual page, but I seen like all the girls complaining, like the girls that were actually on it. And then there was girls like just talking about how fucked up it was on my feed. And I was like, and I kind of was just skimming by them, but then it was like one after another. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I started reading the comments on the post and they was like, my ex had to have posted the post.
Girls, this is why we don't send nudes.
To lames.
Anybody.
That's what somebody out there said. They was like, stop sending your news to fuck boys.
I mean, anybody's liable to do anything when they're angry. So just don't even do it.
Well, the most disturbing thing is, because like I said, if that page was made and there was like one or two girls' nudes posted on there, then it's more than likely just ran by one person. But now if you got...
No, there was was probably thousands of comments
if you
and
got
people.
Thousands of different girls from all different, fucking areas, then it's not just one person. It's got to be like...
No, it's like a collective.
Yes.
Like people are like, this is a trend. I'm going to jump on it.
Yeah. So that's the sick part about it is you had to have had at least 10, 20, 30 guys like putting all that shit together and just pushing it in.
Well, you could just like upload it, like Facebook.
Yeah.
Like you can just go on there and be like, oh, I'm just going to upload so-and-so's. And
they're anonymous.
And they're anonymous. I mean, I don't know if there's an active investigation trying to do IP addresses and whatever they do. But it was, I mean, like I said, I was so disturbed by the amount of people that were begging for girls' nudes.
That really shows you how sick shit it was. They begging for girls' nudes under their real name, or was they doing anonymous?
No, they were begging. Like they put the girl that they wanted to see, like first and last name.
Yeah.
But their username that they were under was not their name.
Oh my God.
So you don't know who was asking. You just know what they were asking for.
That's some weird shit.
And I mean, like that stuff, like you guys should be putting that stuff on OnlyFans for real.
Well, that's the thing. Because when I first seen people complaining, like when I went in the comments, like the first couple girls that I seen complaining about it, like they were talking about how they had an OnlyFans page, and I was like, well, that's how your shit got on there. Like you got an OnlyFans page, they're just taking it off there and they're putting it on there. But then I was seeing a lot of other ones where it was like they didn't have no OnlyFans page. It was like they were talking about like their exes were the only ones that had that shit, and they were like, it's creepy because we haven't been together for 2 years and he still got that shit.
Yes, that's why you don't send it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shit's crazy.
Or you just have them send you stuff that's even more compromising than what you sent them.
Well, then you can equally blackmail them if Sarita giving y'all bad tips, man.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you better have something. You better have some collateral, girl.
You better have some collateral.
Man.
Get a dick pic if you're gonna send
it better be one that like has the face in it.
Yeah. Or the incriminating
so you can see
the incriminating tattoo. Today's Friday the 13th. Y'all stay safe. I was kind of paranoid about this episode, so I got here an hour early because I wanted to make sure everything was copacetic because it is Friday the 13th and it's supposed to be an unlucky day. So far, everything's went good.
How's your Friday the 13th been in the past?
I don't think I've really ever had anything crazy happen on Friday the 13th, honestly.
No, I actually woke up thinking it was going to be a great day.
It's just I don't want it to start now, so.
Well, the audio's good, so we're all set.
The audio's good, you know what I mean? It's a good day, Friday the 13th, y'all. But yeah, with the leak news thing.
That's just, I couldn't believe my eyes, bro.
I didn't see it, so I don't even want to.
No.
Nah. But then again, I was doing something at the time when I came upon the first comment. I was busy doing something at the time, so it's like I'm not interested enough to even find this shit. And then I was scrolling down my newsfeed, and it was just like it was literally like one after another, like 10 posts straight on my newsfeed about the shit. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So I clicked on the comments.
I was late to the party too.
Yeah, so I clicked on the comments, and they were just in there, just like, "This shit is so foul." It's like.
I didn't see anybody who had been posted.
Yeah.
But like on Facebook, but I just saw the link after a few people saying like, dang, that's wild, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, is this spam?
Yeah.
Like, is this for real? Are we all talking about something that's on TikTok, or are we talking about something that's like real? Is this other women, or is this right here at home?
So when you went on there was people that you knew on there?
Yeah.
Like people you're close with, or just people that you know?
No,
like, just people that
nobody I'm close
of.
with would do that.
Yeah, like people you know of.
Girls, keep me honest.
No, hell no. there is definitely some girls that you're close with that would send nudes, bro.
Nah,
come on, you ain't gonna tell me that they ain't never sent no nudes.
Nah.
Now listen. There's a difference between the guys that they mess with posting the nudes and them sending the nudes. Just they might mess with guys that wouldn't upload the shit, but you ain't gonna tell me.
If I'm a liar, text me and tell me I'm a liar. But none of my close friends have done that.
Hell, they just ain't told you. That's all.
I mean, that could be it.
Because I didn't. We've all went through high school here. No,
you didn't. Oh, well, okay.
Talking to one of the Venezuelan girl.
I don't know.
Hey, Dylan, what's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in, but we got to use complete sentences here because I don't know what the fuck that means.
Sorry, Dylan. Usually we're on task. But we can't follow this one.
It's too early. I can't decipher what you're trying to say here.
That was a big gulp. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Dang.
Whole Stanley Cup in one drink. But that shit's crazy. And I don't know. I just wanted to
make sure that y'all knew that we knew.
We seen it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I know people try to act like that they didn't know shit was going on or didn't see shit. I peeped what was going on.
It was real.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Sarita did though. All right, so what's the word on the street, Sarita? Have there been any more fights as far as parents or sports or anything like that?
I don't know now. Not that I know of. What? It's a thought.
It's a thought I had, but I didn't want to get into that conversation at this time. Sorry.
Oh. Maybe he knows one of the girls on there.
The Venezuelan girl. Was there a Venezuelan girl on the? I don't know. We're not going to put nobody on blast. They already dealt with enough trauma. But yeah, so what's going on?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's been pretty quiet. No parents
as far as that I've heard. Everything
that I've heard.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, nothing on the ground, huh?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Sources is dried up.
Yeah.
Busy.
So they hired Marion City Schools hired a new.
They did.
What is it?
Superintendent.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know anything about him.
Brian Murphy.
Yeah.
I have not had an opportunity to sit down with him and talk with him directly yet, but man, like Marion City has had its challenges over the years, and so anytime a new person steps into that role, I think we're all, maybe I'm speaking
who was in that
too blanket,
who was in that position before him?
Olympia De La Flora. She was here for a year, I think. It was pretty quick. She was in and out.
Okay. Well, I seen people reposting it like they were pretty fond of him and they thought it was a good hire.
He's a Marion guy.
Yeah.
Went to Taft, graduated from Harding. He's actually a good friend of my brother-in-law's. So we're hopeful. We're, I feel like it's only up from here.
Yeah.
I really think there's a lot to be done though. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot on the plate for anybody who steps into that position. So I really try to be optimistic because there's a lot to do.
You got a new athletic director.
Well, not.
Y'all are in the wrong positions, motherfuckers. Yeah, how hard is it to get somebody out? God damn. I'm not going to get into it again because I feel like I've got into that plenty. I'm not going to get into it again. Did you see the Tyreek Hill arrest?
I did.
What'd you think about it?
Well, I didn't see the whole video. I read the article. I saw,
Well, there was the initial video that came out where it was like cell phone footage of somebody driving by.
Yes.
And then they released body cam footage.
Okay, so I didn't see body cam.
Okay.
I just saw the cell phone footage. What'd you think of it?
Overall thoughts?
I mean, it's just typical.
Yeah. I think there is fault on both sides, obviously. And it was just the police were overly excessive per usual. And then it's also like, Tyreek, bro, your windows are clearly beyond the legal tint. And it's like, if you have them rolled up when the cop's trying to do a traffic stop, he doesn't know if you're reaching for something.
Kind of dumb.
And he can't see in the vehicle if you can see on the body cam footage, like his windows are blacked out.
Okay. Yeah. You can't tell that. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell that from the crappy cell phone video that I saw.
So the cop goes up. I wish I would have put it on here. The cop goes up, knocks on the window. He rolls it down. He gets his license and Tyreek's like, just do what you got to do and don't knock on my window like that no more. And then he rolls his window back up and the cop's like, keep your window rolled down. And he won't roll the window down. So he's like, if you don't roll the window down, I'm going to get you out the car. And then that's when stuff got aggressive.
That wasn't on the video that I saw. Like that part of the stop.
Yeah. So it's like, could the cop have handled that better? Yeah. Did they need to put him in cuffs and put him on the ground and all that shit because of all that? And then they got aggressive with, I think it was another player or bodyguard or whatever the fuck it was that pulled up in front of him. They got overly aggressive with him when he was just stopping to make sure everything was good. Like wasn't getting close to him, wasn't threatening the situation or nothing like that. And, but yeah, it was just like they got overly aggressive, could have been handled different. But at the same time, it's like if you're a cop going up to somebody's window and they have that dark of tint and you can't see in the vehicle, and you don't know that that's Tyreek Hill.
Right.
You know what I mean? When he rolled that window back up, he could have went for anything.
Right.
And you're not going to be able to see it until it's already too late.
Right.
So it's like there's fault on both sides. And
it seems silly. I mean, what did he get pulled over for? Just the tint? Or was he speeding or something?
He was speeding. Okay. He was going like 100. But it's like they could have arrested him for reckless op, but they were just going to give him a ticket. But it was like he didn't want to roll the damn window down. So it's like, I understand, bro. But at the same time, it's like we ain't going to get to that point if you just keep the window rolled down. And it's like, but okay, we did get to that point. So it's like, take him out of the car. Now you're doing too, because what they were saying was too much. Like they were talking about like, you fucking do what I say to do, and there ain't gonna be no questions about it or some shit like that. It was
like a boy conversation.
So it was like they got physically, yeah. So they got too aggressive physically, and they were just like,
obviously being
what
jerks.
They were saying. It was like, this is still a grown man that you're talking to. You know what I mean? So you don't have to talk to somebody like that. And you got him out the car. You know what I mean? You know that he's not a threat now. If you got to put him in cuffs, restrain him, and then get it figured out, whatever. But all the extra shit, that's too much. You're losing your temper.
Yeah.
Because as a cop, you got to be able to keep your cool. You know what I mean? You're supposed to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. Because as soon as you start escalating the situation, that's when people get hurt. So I mean, roll your window down when they tell you to roll your window down, especially when you got that dark of tint and you can't see in the car. But then also for the police officers, it's like, okay, once you got him out the car and you got the situation under control, calm the fuck down. Take a deep breath. Calm the fuck down.
I agree.
like, damn.
Yeah, I didn't have that much insight into the situation, but it from what I did know and from what I'm hearing right now, I just feel like it's very typical.
Yeah. Well, they said the cop tried to reach out and apologize to him, and Tyreek denied it and said that he wanted him fired, which is like
probably not going to happen.
Which is like, would you have reached out and tried to apologize if he wasn't famous? You know what I mean?
Probably not.
Because you realize now
it's like a national discussion now.
If he was just a regular guy, then that probably doesn't even get out.
Right.
But then after you realize that this is going to go on a national scale, is that why you reached out to apologize? You know what I mean? So
I would assume so, but
yeah,
I don't know the dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just there are certain things in a lot, and it's in a lot of situations like that where it's just like certain things on both sides like could prevent the whole thing. Like,
I mean, looking back, I would hope that both parties are like, all right. I mean, like whether you're willing to apologize, whether you're willing to say it out loud, I probably shouldn't have, or I probably should have instead. And next time, because there's probably gonna be a next time.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't buy fast cars to drive slow,
right? So, and me and Shaq have talked about that plenty. I was like, why do they even make cars that go that fast if you ain't never gonna be able to drive it that fast?
There's nowhere you can drive it fast unless you're on a racetrack.
Yeah, you're gonna go to the racetrack, but it's like. With Tyreek's side of it, it's like if you're going 100 miles per hour, bro, why are you mad when the cop pulls you over?
You knew you were probably going to get pulled over.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that goes back to what we were talking about with the lady pulling in the driveway. You know, it's like, why are you going to get mad at me for coming out of my house and asking me why you're in my driveway? Yeah, right. It's like, you're in my driveway. like the cop's got to do what he has to do. And then at the same time, though, it's like, how big is the situation? Like, he's not rolling down his window. I know it can be a safety issue because you can't see what he's going for.
Right.
And if you want to be aggressive to that point, fine, because I mean, you probably got kids at home and you're trying to get home.
But once he's no longer a threat.
Once he's out of the car, you realize he doesn't have any weapons on him. He's not a threat. You got it under control. Why are we still going above and beyond? Losing your temper, talking down to him, you know what I mean? Getting overly aggressive, like it's over with at that point.
I agree.
De-escalation at that point.
Stupid.
It's a dumb situation, man. It's a dumb situation. All right, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to keep going. I don't even know why.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you missed the one at the top.
No, I was just telling the people that have been in here already, but there ain't nobody in it.
They left.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think? Because I was watching the football game last night, Dolphins and Bills, and Tua, I might be talking like a different language to you.
I read somebody saying like, if he scrambles like that again or something.
Well, the quarterback for the Dolphins, he got hit in his head when he tried to run.
Oh, yes.
And this is like his third concussion.
They said something about his neck.
Bro, when he got hit last night, it knocked him out. And you know, when somebody gets knocked out, their hands start doing the weird shit.
They kind of like
gang signs.
Yeah,
they start throwing up gang signs and shit.
You know when somebody gets knocked out. I've only seen it on TV.
This is the third time that's happened to him. So people were like, he needs to retire.
His career probably should end.
Well, the doctor already told him after the last one, like, if it happens again, you could die.
Damn.
Crazy part about it is the hit that caused that on him last night was by Damar Hamlin, who had that shit happen to his heart when he got hit. Like, literally died on the field.
I remember that.
Yeah, so it's just wild. So when you think about that shit with your kids playing sports, football?
I try not to.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're smashing into people.
Yeah.
So you know that there's an element of risk. But I try not to think about it. I think it doesn't bother me as much as the kids get older and they learn like how to tackle properly, how to just the technical side of things. But with the younger kids, like Micah, this year's his first year of tackle football. That really bothers me. Like, I don't obviously lost that battle, but I don't agree with kids playing tackle football that young.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's necessary.
Well, see, I've talked to some football coaches and they said that it's probably better that they play tackle football that young because they haven't really got that ability to
really hurt somebody. That's what Bryson said.
To run that fast or the strength to really like fuck somebody up. You know what I mean? Like, it's when you're in the fucking high school, college, NFL, it's like you're going full speed and you probably got 40-yard dash speed at that point.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going head to head with somebody.
I think it's just so normalized. Like, football has just become so like socially normal.
Yeah.
That it's regardless of the risk, it's like what we do. It's what we like.
Yeah.
It's our, like you said earlier, it's our favorite sport.
Right. And it's still better than going to war. So because you gotta think back in the days, like, and I'm talking about like the 1800s, 1700s, like motherfuckers was out there killing each other with swords and shit. So it's like it's kind of in our blood.
We're
somewhere
not
down
fighting anymore. We're not.
Yeah.
No, I think like, it's something I just try not to think about. Because
I know my cousin, like, she's real hesitant about letting her son play football. And I be trying to explain to her, like, these boys growing up, they have this built up testosterone that they need to let out. So I feel like a contact sport is pretty necessary for men, because if they don't find a release for that, they're going to use it on less productive things. So I agree with that. Like, Bryson and I, we talk about that all the time. He doesn't like using, unless it's something pretty egregious, he hates using sports as a punishment. Right.
Like, no, we're not. I don't like to sit kids or punishment unless it's something that's like, this is just this is excessive. You need to learn something here. But we say that all the time. These boys, these teenage boys, they got their hormones surging. There's all sorts of physical changes, cognitive changes happening with their brain. They sit all day in a classroom. Yeah. They got to follow rules and ignore the annoyances of the day to day.
Ticking time bomb.
And then they come to practice for football practice, which is like the only place you are allowed to be you're allowed and encouraged to be as physically aggressive as possible. Yeah. To get that out. Right. It's a really, like, some people believe that it's a very important part of their day. Like, they need that. Yeah.
And just like the life lessons that you learn from it, like,
that is,
you're not always going to go up against somebody like in these hamburger drills where you're just going head to head against. You're not always going to go up against somebody the same size as you, or smaller. Like, sometimes you're going to have to go against somebody bigger.
Our kids played against a kid on the other team that is 15. Yeah. So our kids are 13 and 14. He's 15 years old and built like a man. Like, that kid should be playing varsity football already. Yeah. And with a lot of these young boys, like, they're very headstrong and they think they can take on the world. So sometimes they need to be humbled Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you go against somebody bigger than you and they put you on your ass, it's like, oh yeah, I ain't all
better
that.
come better next time, or just, figure out another way.
So it teaches them that it's like, you ain't gonna win every battle. So pick your battles. You know 100%. What I mean? And it's like, I don't know, it's just good life lessons of football. It teaches you how to fail. And I seen something where it was talking about, it was like, you're gonna be out at 5 a.m. in the dew grass, cold in the morning, with your pads on, out there working while other kids are still at home sleeping. You know what I mean? It teaches you them life lessons to get up and go grind, even when these other kids are just.
I think sports, like in general, you could argue that.
Yeah.
But certainly, if that's the only sport that you play, there's a lot to be learned. Bryson always talks about the brotherhood and just being a team. And
well, it was like with football, that's one thing I remember, because it's like basketball, you're going to be in a gym, whatever. Like football, like when we went out there at 5 a.m. and they had you stretch, like 5 a.m., you just woke up.
Stretching in wet, cold grass.
Bro, you lay down in that wet, cold grass after you just woke up. It's like, I'm fucking pissed right now. Like, what are we doing? Yeah. So it's like, but it gives you that callous though. It's like, but I'm still out here doing the shit.
You're working.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Still out here doing the shit. Like, if anything, you got something done for that. And I don't know how I skipped this, because somebody brought this up in the messenger on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Kiki brought this up. She's usually in here. I don't know if she's in here now. But the dress code.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Some of the things that I seen, I heard there was more, but one of the main things that I seen was these girls are taking photos with their pants unbuttoned now.
It's weird. It's weird. I've seen it. Like, I walked into the school the other day, the high school, because I was dropping off some marketing stuff for the volleyball team. And this girl comes out of the office in like I can't remember if when we were in school, I don't think we were allowed to wear like camis, like the spaghetti strap shirts. I don't think those were allowed.
No.
But it was like a spaghetti strap, but it was like probably the length of a sports bra. Yeah. And shorts. But she came out of the office like talking with her friend. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I really hope that she's getting ready to go to cheer practice. Like maybe they have cheer practice tonight. Right. Because I know she didn't wear that all day at school.
Hell no.
I know she didn't. We couldn't even wear like pajama pants. I remember at one point the teachers were mad that kids were coming to school in pajamas, so we weren't allowed to wear pajama pants.
Well, didn't they have like the 3 Bs or something like that? It was like butt, boobs, and
belly.
Belly. And then you had to be able to put your hands down to your side.
And we, like, Coach Mack would send people home if your shorts were not, like, if your fingertips were beyond your shorts.
Yeah, that's wild. But she was talking. There you go. But she was talking about that, and that was the only thing that I seen. Did you see anything else as far as like, what the fuck? Why are they allowed to dress like this? Because the main thing that I seen was like they were taking pictures for their first day of school and they had their pants unbuttoned. I was like, I know they ain't letting them go to school with their pants unbuttoned like that.
I mean, yeah, they are.
I mean, was like that the only thing you seen, or did you see some other shit? Like,
no, I mean, I go to the games. Like, I see, those. And maybe I'm just...
That was the main thing that stuck out to me. It's like, damn.
No, the belly shirts, we weren't allowed to do that.
Yeah.
The leggings with like the ruching down the butt crack.
Yeah.
Wearing that to school. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I feel really old because I remember when we were young, my parents would be like, this generation. I'm looking at these young kids and I'm like, what?
Like I understand times change, and it's like, sometimes the staff at schools will probably like, you got to change with it a little bit. Yeah. You got to evolve, but let's evolve the right things and not these underage students exposing more of their body parts. Can we stay firm on that one part of it?
I don't understand why it changed or when it changed, but it certainly has.
There's a button on the pants for a reason. So let's go ahead and utilize that.
I also try to be, I try to have like as much of a well-rounded perspective as I can. Mm-hmm. And I think to myself, I have a daughter who's young, very young.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'm going to be when she, I don't know how I'm going to be in 10 years when she's a preteen and, what the style is going to be or whatever. So I really try to be like, I'm hoping that that's not a battle I have to pick with her.
Yeah.
And is it really going to matter to me at that point what she's wearing, or are there other things going to be more important? I don't know.
So like when they have their pants unbuttoned like that, are they having like shorts on, or
I don't know?
Because if you just
if you're sitting down and your pants are unbuttoned like that?
That's the thing. Like if all you got on is underwear underneath that, then there's a real fucking issue. Now, if you got your pants unbuttoned and you have like, like the Nike
like pro
spandex shit. Yeah, and that's one underneath of it's like okay, it's like at least you got something on that you would be able to just wear.
It's giving Aaliyah.
Yeah. But now if you got a G-string on under the motherfucking pants that's unbuttoned, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
But
are you paying attention in high school?
Because like we said, I'm probably not going to send my daughter to school like that.
I can't imagine I would.
Especially after we just sat here and talked about all the boys that be in there with this built up testosterone, and then you're just sending your daughter in there with her pants unbuttoned and shit. I mean, that's not a good look. It's not a good look.
I mean, I am of the opinion that like regardless of what a woman has on, men should be able to control themselves.
Yeah.
Like I do agree with that.
I'm not saying that like she would deserve what she had coming to her if one of them did something they wasn't supposed to do. I'm saying like they're going to think of her in a less womanly way.
And maybe she doesn't care.
Like they'll probably think that she's pretty fast.
Probably.
So
the perception would certainly be there for people.
Yeah. But I mean, and if she carries herself an opposite way, then it really don't matter what they think. And I've always been like very understanding about the shit, because like there will be guys that say like a girl's a hoe because she'll wear like short shorts and shit like this, and it's like you literally go to a beach and they're wearing bathing suits.
Yeah.
They're literally wearing bathing suits and bras.
Right.
So when you really break it down, how dumb that shit can be,
right?
You really start to.
It's a slippery slope. I mean, all I know is I don't want to be the person making the decisions,
right? Yeah,
because
it's tough.
So you're not going to please everybody.
Well, I mean, when you got the majority of kids doing it, it's like how you really going to enforce it? But
I don't know. I hope maybe the new superintendent will have a different philosophy on dress code and.
Yeah, let's have a meeting. Let's have a meeting.
Should we invite him on the podcast?
My thought was I read something about these Venezuelan men posting nudes of Venezuelan women to sell to make money while they are here in the States. I don't know anything about it.
Me either.
I don't know nothing about it either. I haven't heard about that.
I don't know if that's something I want to know about, Dylan.
No. No, but it seems like that they're, and I don't know if the women are like consensual in that, but it just sounds like they're running the OnlyFans.
It does. You said it doesn't?
I mean, it sounds like they're running the OnlyFans, unless they're doing that against them girls' will and selling it and making money off of them. Because I know sometimes, like I've heard of people like they're like, yeah, we'll take you to the United States with us and give you a better life, but you have to let us do this.
There's a documentary on Netflix about it, actually. Mm-hmm. I forgot what it's called. Oh man, I wish I could remember, but it is on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big thing.
By the way, do you watch Ozark?
Have you watched that? Yeah.
I just finished it.
Did you?
Last week.
I love Jason Bateman. He's one of my favorite actors.
Oh man, he's so good. That series is so good. I'm so sad that's not continue.
Like, and he's so diverse, because in Ozark he's pretty damn serious, but like in Horrible Bosses, the movies and shit like that, he's fucking hilarious.
But there was like some comedy, like slivers, even though it was meant to be serious and he's working with the cartel and stuff. Like there's still moments where you like chuckle because he is the actor that he is. Yeah,
he's good.
I don't know where that came from, just a random thought. But
no, I just watched that Rebel Ridge on Netflix. Have you watched it yet?
Rebel Ridge?
Yeah. Gotta watch it. Good ass movie. The ending could have been better, but it was a good ass movie overall.
Wow. I think what's it about?
Dude was like a ex-Marine. He goes into this town to bail his brother out of jail, and then they just keep on fucking with him pretty much. Like he had $30,000 on him to go bail his brother out on possession of marijuana, and the cops pull him over.
$30,000 for a possession of marijuana?
I don't know what the fuck it was.
Dang.
But, and the cops pull him over. I don't think he was going to spend the whole $30,000 to get him out.
Oh, okay.
I think he just had that from like his military or whatever the fuck it was. But they pulled him over. They confiscated the money, because they said it was connected to drugs, and he was like, "This isn't connected to drugs anyway." And then he finds out that they're just like fucking buying margarita machines with it, like the money's just going to dumb shit. Like the money's just going to dumb shit. And then they finally push him to a point where it's like, all right, bro, now you're gonna have to feel me. Like, and then they look him up and they're like, oh, this motherfucker was a
like legitimate.
Yeah, he like trained the Marines and martial arts and shit like that.
Take us all out.
But then it's too late. He just started fucking shit up. So
I think I did see the trailer for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch it now.
It's a good ass movie. It's good. Like I said, and I think that was the overall opinion on it, was the ending could have been better, but I think it was the way it was because they're setting it up for a second one.
Oh, okay. I'll have to Google it.
Which makes sense. Yeah. And then there was another one that I watched. It was Crazy X or something like that. Have you seen it on there?
Crazy X.
Something about an X.
I gotta write these down.
Yeah,
I'm gonna forget.
Let me see what that was real quick.
Crazy X and Red.
I don't think it was Crazy X. I'm just saying like the first thing that comes. Worst X ever.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what it was.
Clearly she was crazy.
Worst X ever, which is pretty close. Yeah.
Or was it a he?
So there was this guy, and he was dating multiple girls and shit like that, and he was just beating the fuck out of them and then taking off. And then finally they got onto him and shit like that, and he ends up killing himself. But it's about crazy exes. So.
That was like the worst description ever.
Well, I'll try to give it to you
really don't
quick.
Care about watching it now.
Well, I mean, like I know girls like them fucking like real documentaries.
Oh, girls like them.
Yeah. See, I watched it too because I fucked with it, but that's because I like documentaries.
I love documentaries.
Like real shit like that.
And I feel like Netflix does a pretty decent job when they create like a Netflix original docuseries or a documentary. I think they do a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the Shannon Sharp thing?
No. My brother-in-law was at the game and he was laughing, and I thought he was laughing at something going on. And he was like, "Did you see the Shannon Sharp thing?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
Not yet. I the last couple of days, I have not really been on social media that much other than to like post marketing stuff. And I feel like you miss so much because I don't watch the news.
Well, I usually watch Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco's Nightcap podcast that they do, which is later on at night. But this motherfucker went live on Instagram somehow, and he didn't mean to. He went.
Okay, I saw a meme, but I didn't know how like true the meme was.
His side of the story was he went in, threw his phone down, and then started having sex with this girl.
Oh no!
Well, somehow his phone went live. Somehow his phone, like, there's no video of it. Like, it's literally like if you were to set your phone down, it was recording the ceiling. But you can hear everything. Audio. Yeah, but you can hear everything. So his shit went live on Instagram while he was having sex with this girl, and he was going crazy.
Oh no!
Like, he on there growling and shit.
Oh no!
He on there growling and shit. And Shannon Sharp's like one of my favorite personalities in media.
To me, it would be hard to put him in like a real serious role because that's just not how, like, the movies that he's playing and that I like. Yeah, he doesn't have. I mean, it's serious, but it's more comedic. Like,
Shannon Sharp is probably one of my more favorite personalities on media, and he was on there going crazy.
Oh,
he was on there going bonkers. So just Ocho Cinco was just on the podcast, just giving him a hard time about it and shit like that. And he was like, "I'm embarrassed and everything like that." And it was like, I don't know why you're embarrassed, bro. It's like, you're a grown ass man. You're a grown ass successful man. It's like, who gives a fuck what anybody else says about what you're doing? It's not like you meant to do it.
Easy for those people to say. Yeah. But like when you're, that's like a private, intimate.
It's a little embarrassing. Yeah, it would be embarrassing for sure. And some of the shit he was on there saying, like, they was like, did he tell her to lick his ass on 2 minutes and 3 seconds?
Oh no!
Like, he was going nuts. He was stupid.
Dang.
But
did they say who the girl was? Because I would.
They just know her name was Michelle because he was saying her name in the video.
I might be more embarrassed for her.
He was saying her name in the video. So, and then you know how motherfuckers on the internet are. They went out and found her social media and everything. Yeah. Yeah, so because they went out and found her, and she only had like 400 followers, like super low key, and he's like this super famous motherfucker, and he's like, yeah, it was somebody that was supposed to be really discreet, you know.
That I actually have like a maybe irrational or rational, because it could happen, but like fear that my 2-year-old's gonna be walking around with my phone pushing buttons and like put me on live and I'm naked or just getting out of the shower or something, you know, like crazy. And she's just thinking she's just, you know, pushing buttons on mom's phone.
See, I don't know why, because you know how when you unlock your phone, it has to do the face scan and shit.
Yeah.
That's what it should have to do, a face scan before it goes live, I feel like.
Well, so that actually is a great idea.
Yeah. Or even the fingerprint, actually, because somebody can still scan your face even if you don't have the phone. So I would say like a fingerprint to go live.
Yeah, I like that idea. Because I mean, it's a fear.
Because some people were saying like, oh, he meant to do that shit. There's like 4 steps you got to go through to go live on Instagram. I've never went live on Instagram. Yeah, I've never went live on Instagram, so I don't know. But I would think, though, because every time I go live on something else, when you go live, before you even go live, you have to make a title for it. You know what I mean?
So you got to like set up the details.
You got to set up the details of it. So when it goes live, that shit's on there. So it's like,
I think I've only gone live on Facebook Live, and I don't think it was like super difficult, but I've never done it on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, like I go live on here through StreamYard, and before I go live, I have to like type in the details of the episode and shit like that.
That would be so humiliating for me.
But that's what they need to add to an update. But you should have to fucking do a fingerprint.
Yeah, that's a bug they need to fix.
Yeah, fingerprint scan before you go live. The Shannon Sharp update.
Yeah, he needs to send Meta email.
So what you got going on today after this?
I almost don't want to say, but I think I'm gonna go because my kids, man. I gotta go to the Nike outlet and get them some stuff. Shit.
Yeah.
And Mike has got some training sessions this evening. Shout out to Excel Sports Academy. And for basketball.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what we're doing this evening. Probably nothing. I love when we get to do nothing because it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it's nice.
What are you doing?
Shit, I gotta go to Aldi at 5. I just work 5 to 8.
Oh, that's nothing. 3
nothing.
hours?
It ain't nothing, bro. These hours at Aldi don't be shit. Shit be flying, because like when I worked out the prison, we was working 12, 16-hour days every day. Fucked up.
And you worked, but did you work 6 days a week?
Yeah.
You had to do mandatory overtime?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit was trash.
I know why you quit now.
I pretty much lived in that motherfucker for 7 years.
7 years? Did you work there for that long?
I did that for 7 years, yeah. I pretty much lived in there, bro. Telling you, I was an inmate for real. They sent me home to get like 7 hours of sleep and right back in that.
You know what though? I worked at DYS when it was still here in Marion, which was the maximum security juvenile detention center. And I ate lunch in there sometimes. It wasn't bad. Like I would go to the cafeteria.
I would eat the cafeteria food, but I'm not a picky ass person either. Like I'll eat. If the shit's edible, I'll probably eat it.
I mean, there was some stuff that I wasn't going to touch, but like there were some days where I would go in there and like just have lunch in there. Yeah.
Like when I look back at it now, I'm like, because when I started out there, the pay was $14.92.
Wow. Which probably at the time like seemed all right.
It did seem all right at the time, but now I look back at it and it's like, the only reason I was making so much money was because I was
working all the overtime.
Working so much fucking overtime. And like my schedule was literally, I would go in there at 10 o'clock at night and you were supposed to be in there until 6 o'clock in the morning, but you got mandated every fucking day to stay for 8 more hours. So I would
8 more. I could see like an hour or 2.
Bro, 10 o'clock at night until 2 o'clock in the afternoon the next day.
And then go back at 10? Then the same day you got off at 2?
Yes.
No.
10 o'clock at night until 2 o'clock the next day, and then go home at 2 o'clock, come back in at 10 o'clock at night until 2 o'clock the next day again.
No way.
Yes, bro. That shit was terrible. And I look back at it now, I was like, I was insane for doing that. Yeah. That shit was insane. And that was me working third shift.
No wonder why they're always hiring. Yeah. You always see, because it's like management and training corp or something like that. Yeah. They're never not hiring.
Yeah.
I don't know how you keep people working them like that.
Bro, I literally did that shit 3 days in a row, and it got to the point where it was like, because you're going home
for a couple hours.
Yeah, you're literally going home, and if you think about it, if you work from 10 to 2, you go home at 2. It's like, I need a couple hours to wind down. You know what I mean?
By the time you get home, it's like 2:30. If you stop, get something to eat, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you sit there, eat it, maybe half an hour, look at your phone, take a shower.
Yeah. You're maybe only getting like 4, maybe 5 hours of sleep if you're lucky.
And then going to work for 16 more hours.
Going right back in at 10 o'clock, and you're in there until 2 o'clock the next day.
Wow.
Brian have no social life because they didn't give you. I mean, and when you're in the prison, you couldn't have your phone. They let you have your phone now. After I left, of course. But the whole time I was there, you couldn't have your phone in there.
Like the whole time
No, you couldn't have your phone in the prison. So my phone's sitting out in my locker the whole time for that whole 16 hours, and I'm doing that shit 6 days a week. Motherfuckers ain't talking to me at all.
Yeah.
Like I was disappeared for
your
real.
mental health was gone.
Fucked, bro. And then they tried to switch it to where we work 12-hour shifts 4 days a week and then get 3 days off. And I was like, that shit sounded sweet at the time.
Right.
I'm working on these fucking 16. That shit sounded sweet. So we was doing that. I got on first shift, had Friday, Saturday, Sundays off.
Every weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Had Friday, Saturday, Sundays off, work Monday through Thursday. Bet. That's easy compared to what I'm doing. Of course, these motherfuckers get low staffed again because they can't keep nobody. Now, like, well, we got to mandate you on your day off. What?
So what if you just didn't come in?
You get fired.
How? I mean, you don't have anybody to work anyway.
You get a couple write-ups, and then after that, they fire you. Yeah, right. Like you can't refuse.
So you probably had like boatloads of paid time off because you couldn't take time off.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest complaints too, was they give you this PTO and then they give you a hard time, or they just deny it when you try to use it. Mm-hmm. It's like, what's the point of giving people paid time off if you ain't gonna let them use it? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that was one of the biggest things, and it was like, how you gonna mandate somebody to come in on their day off?
Right. I did my time.
And like that was the worst feeling in the world, because I would be there, like I said, from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. These motherfuckers would call you like an hour before your shift was over. So you're sitting there thinking about what you're about to do when you go home, all this and that. They call you a half hour before your shift's over, and they're like, hey, we're going to have to keep you in the morning. So an hour.
What if you just said no?
You can refuse, but once you get so many refusals, they fire you. So it's like, do I really want to refuse? Do I need this fucking job? Because it's like you're sitting there and you have an hour till you have to go home, and you're like feeling good because it's like, I'm gonna go home and get this done, and they call you and add 8 more hours onto your shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like an hour or two, okay, but a whole shit. It's a whole shift that's added onto your shit,
bro. Do you know how
that's crazy?
Do you know how demoralizing that is to sit there after you work the whole shift and to have somebody call you,
have to eat it?
Have somebody call you at the end of your shift and say, we're going to need you to work another one right now. Like, no, you ain't going home. Work another one right now. Like,
wow,
man, that shit
no
was
wonder
terrible.
You left. I can't believe you did that for 7 years.
Looking back at it, I can't believe I did that shit neither.
Was it like that the whole time though?
Yes, it was like that the whole time. Like I said, it got better for a little period when they would try to go to them 12s. But then, of course, that shit only lasted for so long, and then they wanted to mandate you on your day off.
There's got it. Are you guys union?
Nah, that's why they get away with the shit. That's why they get away with the shit. Like motherfuckers was so like pissed to a point where they were trying to bring a union in, but then they were trying to get back at those people for trying to bring a union in by mandating them even when they weren't up on the list to get mandated and shit. Like, it was some dirty shit going on out there, man. Crazy. It was wild. But now that I think about it, when I started out there was some motherfuckers 50, 60 years old out there out there doing that shit. And I was like,
met somebody the other day that's like getting ready to retire, and they've worked there. They've worked there their entire career.
If I wasn't as young as I was when I started out there, I would probably not have fucking made it. I'd probably be dead right now, because you ain't getting no sleep. You know what I mean? It's just not good at a certain point.
6 days every week.
Yeah. And you're in a stressful environment. Like, you're in a prison.
Right.
It's not like you're working 16 hours at Walmart.
Right.
Like, you're in a prison where it's like everybody in there is just trying to make your day as hard as possible. So it's like,
dang.
Yeah, that shit was tough. I mean, luckily I started out there when I was 20. So when I left, I was 27.
How long have you been gone?
5 years. Yeah, 5 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, luckily I was young enough to be able to endure all that bullshit. I mean, it probably still took a toll on me, honestly.
I would say.
But I don't know how the motherfuckers in their 50s and 60s did that shit.
That's crazy. I mean, you just concede to the fact that it's just your life. Only exist to come into this place.
Yeah, this is your life. It's just wild.
Wow.
But all right, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Another episode of the Morning Brew podcast. We will be on here next Friday unless something crazy happens. But
which isn't unusual for us.
Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next time.
See you next week
on the Morning Brew podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment.